Maybe you've been thinking about selling your home here recently because everybody's talking about what a crazy seller's market it is right now, which is true. Don't sell your home in one day though, but that's a different video. It could cost you money. But after watching this video, we're gonna talk about getting you ready to sell your home and how to get it ready for the market. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you need to do to sell for top dollar with great terms in the shortest amount of time possible. And it starts right now. I'm Jonathan Beasley, and we all know who this is. This is Rachel Beasley, my lovely wife and business partner. We're real estate agents right here in Hampton Roads, and we do a lot of videos. You've probably seen some of them by now. So if you're interested in real estate in Hampton Roads or just the community in general, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and that little bell icon as well to stay current on all of our latest content. With that all aside, let's get into the question. How do you get your home actually ready for the market? That's what we're talking about today. What are the specific steps that you can take to be ready when the time comes and you're ready to pull the trigger? So number one, we're gonna tackle the small maintenance items that you've been aware of, but you've probably been putting them off for quite a while. The things that we would typically refer to as deferred maintenance. So items like little holes in your drywall that need to be mudded and sanded and painted, repaired and made to look good. Maybe like caulk around the bathtubs and sinks in your wet areas. Maybe springtime's rolling around and your gutters are clogged from all the leaves from fall. It can be surprisingly easy to stop noticing these little deferred maintenance items or just things that they're just kind of pesky, but you get used to living with them. What I'd recommend is take a pen, take 30 minutes, grab a piece of paper and walk the house with a fresh perspective. Think of it this way. A lot of these things may be insignificant because you're used to living with them, but buyers absolutely will notice them, and so will their home inspector, or so will the father-in-law or the father or the family member that's helping them make this decision. So when a buyer's walking a property, they're probably gonna take note of some of these things, and if they take note of like 2 or 3 of these pesky little maintenance items, the perception of the entire home can actually change pretty quickly. So something else we see people do very regularly is overestimate the cost of small repairs in their mind. So shoot, even things like a new roof, sometimes a new roof may only be $5,000 or $6,000, but a buyer thinks it's $12,000 or $15,000. So it's better to just, whenever possible, preemptively remove those potential concerns from the equation altogether. That way there's no room for their mind to race and worry about things that really may not be that big of a deal.
Next, we're gonna talk about decluttering your home. Look, we've all been there. Things just tend to kind of accumulate a little bit over time, and it can take a long time to start organizing all of the stuff, figuring out what you wanna sell, what you wanna keep, what maybe donate or just throw in the trash. It's okay. So we recommend you start the process now instead of doing it all later when you're trying to pack up and move your family to a new home. Buyers can walk through 2 homes of the exact same floor plan, but if one is neatly and efficiently furnished and organized and decorated, and the other one is just kind of like packed to the hilt with stuff everywhere, the impression to the buyer is that there just isn't enough space in that second home, even though they're identical. So decluttering makes a huge difference and will make your home feel larger, cleaner, crisper, and ready for someone to move in. And you guys, it's actually kind of hard to over declutter, but we actually suggest doing it. If there's a question if I should keep this out or not, you probably should put it up.
That's a good rule of thumb.
And then the good thing is, once you move into your new home, all of those knickknacks and decorations, they'll be ready for you for your new place. One last tip, you guys, when you're decluttering, please take down some of your personal photos and items. You want to keep some of them out because you want it to look like someone's actually living there, but you don't want people to be distracted when they walked into a room of like 20 photos on one wall of your children's entire school life. It gets a little distracting and they're not even going to remember the room that they walked through. So give them a little bit of a blank canvas so that they can imagine their stuff in your home.
That's good advice, good advice. Yeah, next we're gonna try to brighten your home up as much as possible. So lighting is a big deal, whether it is light fixtures or natural light. There are very few things you can do to upgrade your home as cheaply and effectively as proper lighting. Adversely, if buyers walk into a home and all the lights are on, but it's very dark and it just feels kind of gloomy and uninviting, it can really impact the desirability of the home and really impact your eventual sales price. So if you have a lot of windows, be sure to peel back the curtains and use natural light to brighten the interior of the home. If you have dark curtains, consider getting lighter ones or just leaving them pulled back pretty much any time that you're gonna have the house open to showings. The big thing is stay creative and find as many ways as possible to keep the home very bright. Oh, one other tip. Dark paint. If you have a dark paint color in your home, really consider, and when I say consider, please do paint the home a much lighter color. It just reflects light around the house, and the same thing goes for flooring. You want it to be bright, airy, open, and spacious. If it feels like a dungeon, it's gonna turn people off. That's some tough love for you if you have a darker paint. Look, if there's one wall, like an accent wall, that's okay, but if your entire house is a dark color, it might really turn off some buyers. We also recommend that you leave at least one light on in every room during showings. It's gonna use a little bit of electricity, I know, but that's very minuscule relative to the upside of having a buyer fall totally in love with the brightness of your home. So definitely use lighting to your advantage while you're getting it prepared for the market.
Now let's talk kitchens and bathrooms, yay! If your kitchens and bathrooms were new in the 70s or the 80s, maybe even the 90s, it's gonna be very notable, even if they're perfectly functional. In a buyer's mind, they're freaking out thinking, oh man, I'm gonna have to update this kitchen out of my own wallet. And remember that previous rule, they're probably gonna overestimate how much it's gonna cost. Sometimes you can really change the feel of a kitchen just by painting the cabinets, installing butcher block countertop instead of the old, whatever that's called, laminate. Yeah.
We run into this a lot when we flip houses. We have great cabinets that are just dated and old, but you'd be amazed at how a good painter can paint them white and they look beautiful.
New hardware makes
hardware.
a big difference,
Yeah,
yes.
for sure.
So these small investments in your kitchens and bathrooms can have a huge payoff in the end during the sale.
Yeah, next, and probably what should have been first, because in my opinion it's most important, is curb appeal. So I really want you to focus on your curb appeal. When a buyer first walks up to your property, what they see really is gonna set the tone for what they remember. There's an interesting psychological concept known as confirmation or hindsight bias. I'm educated. Basically, when we first see something we make, or someone, a lot of times we can make instantaneous decisions right then and there about what we're seeing. And it's really our brain making an effort to help us organize information. But what happens is, the downside is later on, we're more likely to accept facts that confirm our initial decision rather than accept facts that might contradict that initial decision. So how this plays out in real estate is they walk up to your house and they say, oh, this is a cute, pretty house, but the first impression could have been a little better. You know, maybe there's some spider webs or cobwebs on the front porch and there's some weeds in the flower bed. So now they walk in, they're more likely to look and accept the facts that confirm the concerns they had at that first impression. They saw the overgrown yard, they saw the cobwebs, and now they're noticing the mildew in the bathroom or the smudge in the mirror. And it doesn't take much to set off those preconceived judgments that they've already made. You only have 5 seconds to make a first impression on your home. So make sure that the yard is in good shape, the grass is cut, the weeds are whacked. If there's any painting that needs to be done, take care of that. Get the house pressure washed if necessary, even if there's soffit, if you need to do any aluminum wrap anywhere, just make sure that when they walk out of their car, they really like what they see. So our last tip would be to start interviewing real estate agents very early in the process. So don't just get the first one that gets recommended or the first ad that you see. I really want you to interview multiple brokers, ideally 2 or 3, before you finally choose one. And there's a couple of areas that you need to pay attention to. One is, what kind of marketing are they doing for their current listings? Are they taking pictures on their cell phone? That should be an immediate disqualifier. Run for the hills if Agent Sally is taking pictures with her cell phone for a listing. It just goes to show you the level of effort and frankly the focus and money that she's putting into marketing the home. Second is, do they have a good digital marketing presence and social media presence? This will tell you if they know how to market your home by today's marketing standards. So personally, depending on how large a home it is, we spend anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 marketing our listings. And if it's a luxury listing, it tends to go above the $5,000 mark. So we utilize video marketing. We use Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat. We create buzz and interest for all of our listings, and we tell the home story through video. Then we target and retarget buyers looking for homes that are really close match to the ones that we're listing. But most importantly, we tailor our marketing plans individually for each of our listings so that we can shine the best of light on the home home's very best attributes and then market them properly and natively to each social media advertising platform. So suffice it to say, we're really good at what we do, and we would love the chance to interview with you to earn your business. So with all that said, it's time for the question of the day. What makes the biggest difference in a home to you, in the feel of the home when you walk in? Is it lighting? Is it curb appeal? Have you ever walked into like a weird, creepy, dark house and it just totally turned you off? We'd love to hear any funny stories that you have about experiences walking into a home when you were home shopping. So I'm Jonathan, this is Rachel Beasley. We are That Fit Team, professionals in real estate.
And passionate about people.
See you soon.